Hey everyone, welcome back to Iguana Gaming. I'm the Iguana, and today we are going to check out the new archetype items. So essentially, in the update video I just did, I did accidentally die in the snow biome and my inventory disappeared under the map. That is a bug that has been known to happen, and Wardrum was kind enough to issue me another code for these items so that I could properly test them out and show you guys. We have already looked at the frying pan, but we'll go ahead and look at it again. Except that this time, guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn on invulnerable and super stats for the purposes of this video from God Console. So be aware that I am using those. Now, essentially, what we're going to start with is the Cutlass, which actually looks really good. It is super, super shiny. It's a little bit bright, I think. But apparently it's supposed to do, like, an increased amount of damage. Oh. I would say so. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, that's way more damage than a regular sword would do. And it's also supposed to cut through bushes. Oh, yes. Okay, that's a huge amount of fiber that you get. Much, much more than I would have suspected. Oh yeah. Okay, so this Cutlass is super strong, guys. However, it does take a lot of durability. You can see in this lower corner here that I'm tapping on to get it out. The durability has already decreased, and I've only used it a couple of times. Wow, that is so fast the way that it kills. You know, I kind of want to find something bigger. We are on invulnerable, so we can go and test out exactly how much damage this does. There is a Diplo over there. So let's go ahead and check this out on a Diplo. I kind of want to know the exact number of damage that a Cutlass does. So we're going to check this out up here. Can we... Alright, so 583? 483 damage. It's a lot, guys. It's in that range. I think that's, yeah, I'm not crazy. That's 483. So that is a significant amount of damage. You could easily kill a creature with that in very, very little time. That's probably, the Cutlass is probably as good as most Ascendant swords, or possibly even better, depending on the base amount of damage that that sword does. So it's definitely worth, I think, keeping an eye on, and, man, getting the fiber is super useful. Oh my gosh, it's very fast, and the increased damage is good, especially for caving or things like that. It would be a very quick and easy way to go through a cave and just kind of destroy everything. Even with a little durability, you could craft multiple of these and basically wreck everything in your path, which would be pretty great. So, the thing about that is that the Engram for the Cutlass does cost $4.99. Now, that is not too bad, I think, for a weapon of this caliber, and you would always be able to use it. So this Engram, I did find out, is permanent. So if you purchase it once, it applies to any game that you start from there on out. So you would always be able to craft this. So I can see how that would be a thing starting out with a solo game. You could very quickly craft this Cutlass if you could get the ingredients for it. And then you would be able to do a heck of a lot of damage and get a really good fast start early on. You could probably go run a cave right away with this thing and not even worry about the damage you would take. At least not too much. Okay, so that is the Cutlass. It is beautiful. But now we're going to move on, and we are going to try another item, which I have here in my inventory, the frog feet. So these frog feet increase swim speed and jump height, but they do decrease walking speed. So they're essentially, yes, that is much slower. They are flippers that you can get early on in the game, and can we take a look at them? I want to stand in the sunlight so I can actually see them. Okay, so there we go. So they do, in fact, look like frog feet. I really like the model of them, actually, and I'm willing to bet that you can dye these as well, which would be kind of fun to have, like, really brightly colored frog feet. Now, oh, Oh, and I love the sound effect, guys. Did you hear that? That is amazing. Oh, that makes me happy. Okay. Oh, I almost made it. Okay. So I think the frog feet are super fun. That jump is amazing. So you'd be able to do quite a bit. That's probably about 2 walls high, I would say, in terms of height for the game. So that could be super useful, especially if you're getting stuck on invisible rocks or something. That jump is going to help you a lot to get around. Let's go ahead and... Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, we are very fast. This is just as fast as the scuba slippers, maybe faster. Guys, this might actually be faster than the scuba flippers. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's pretty close. And I don't have any points pumped into oxygen, which also increases underwater movement speed. So this is definitely super quick. I really like these. I do think the frog feet are going to be really cool. And you do have to kill Beelzebufo to get the frog foot item. So you do craft these particular frog feet, but one of the key ingredients is that you actually have to get a new trophy item, which drops from the Beelzebufo, which you can typically find in swamps. Yeah, they're pretty common, so you shouldn't have too much trouble finding one of those to kill. Do be careful, because they do a lot of torpor damage, especially if you're going after them on foot. They can be kind of a problem, because they all group aggro. So if you pull one, all of the others are going to come after you as well. But if you kill them all, you get some pretty cool frog feet, which is pretty great. Let's see if I can get a look at them. Oh, super cool. All right. I just love the bounce noise, guys. It's my favorite thing. It's so good. Props to War Drum for the noise that they included with the frog feet. I'm sure eventually it would get annoying, but I'm having way too much fun with it. All right. Okay. So, business. The frog feet are also $4.99. Now, the big advantage of the frog feet is that they let you get underwater and swim fast much quicker than you would if you were waiting to get scuba gear. So scuba gear is not available until somewhere in the level 80s. So getting these frog feet early on could be very, very useful to you. I could see the advantage of getting these. And again, these Ingrams are permanent, which I think kind of makes them worth it, because they are super cool, especially these 2 items, the Cutlass and the frog feet. I could see those being very worth purchasing as just useful items. I think they're not too overpowered. They're just useful items that you can get and craft, and I would really love to be able to use these regularly. So, I may actually consider buying all of these Ingrams anyway, since that is something that we can do to kind of keep testing things in the game and kind of show off the features, because these ones are really cool, and I'm super excited about them being added. All right, so let's go ahead and unequip these, because I do want to be able to move a little bit faster. And now what we're going to check out is the crowbar. So this crowbar is pretty great. It looks good. Now, it is supposed to be able to open doors. I don't think that it will work too well on our own doors. I think what it's going to do is basically do a lot of damage to, like, door structures and things like that. So I'm going to test it on my door, but I'm pretty sure I can hit my door and it's not going to do anything. All right, that is what I suspected. Now, the other thing that it does is increase your chances of getting amber from precious rocks. So I think what I need to do, guys, is go find myself some precious rocks. So I'll bring you guys back in just a second here. I'm going to go ahead and fly up to the nearest precious resource, which is probably over that way on Far's Peak. Or maybe it might be better to go to Obsidian Mountain, actually. It might be better to go to that mountain over there. So I will bring you guys back in just a little bit here once we get over there. Okay, guys, here we are. We are back. I have gotten to the top of Obsidian Mountain here. At least that's what I call it. I believe the actual name is Frozen Tooth. If you're curious, it is here on the map location at the top of this mountain. So, as you can see, we have a few rocks here that have that amber icon on them. And I'm going to go ahead and just start hitting these rocks. Now, the idea is that you get increased chances of amber dropping from these types of rocks. The crowbar is modeled after the pick. Now, I can say, honestly, that I've only ever gotten a few, like a very, very few pieces of amber from these types of rocks. I think I've only ever gotten maybe 3. So, oh, and the crowbar is going to break very soon. That is unfortunate. All right. So if we don't get even 1, all right. Okay, so that is good to know, guys. The crowbar has pretty low durability, and you can make more than one of them, obviously, if you make the Ingram. But I would suspect that you would have to harvest quite a bit of, I keep getting these stones with the amber icon as well. You'd have to harvest quite a bit of metal with the crowbar in order to get any amber. Now, it might be worth it, but without having multiple items of those crowbars, I cannot say like what the average number of amber you would get is compared to a regular pick. I know that for a regular pick, the odds are probably less than 1 in a, like, they might be 1 in 1,000 for you to get one of those amber. Now, I only hit with the crowbar probably 20 times, so not getting one in that is not too unexpected. So, they do have a chance of giving you increased amber drops from these types of rocks. Only ones that have the amber icon on them, as like these types of rocks typically do. If I can get it to show up. I can't get it to highlight. Can I get it? No, I can't get it to highlight without the weapon in my hand. That's right. Okay. So that is kind of a problem, but, yeah, guys, it is what it is, and I think that's still an interesting result. So, your odds of getting amber are still low, but they are probably better than with a regular pick. So that is something to keep in mind as you're thinking about purchasing that, because the crowbar is a little bit more expensive of an archetype. It is $6.99, so $6.99 US dollars, rather than just 5 for the Cutlass and the Frog Feet, which I believe are probably more generally useful items to begin with. But that increased amber does, I think that justifies the extra money you'd be spending on it. Okay, so now the last thing we're going to do is the thing I started off with last time. We're going to go ahead and check out this frying pan again. Okay, it doesn't knock raptors, guys. Does it knock scorpions? Okay, it knocks scorpions. How does it... That's gotta be a mistake. It doesn't knock raptors out. Alright. That is fair, I suppose. That's interesting that it wouldn't knock a raptor out. It does knock other creatures out, though. Alright. So, raptors are too large. Ankies are too large. But there are a lot of other creatures in that class size. I am curious about sabers and things like that as well. So, we might... I think we're going to run into the snow biome again. Is that a Titan? Hey, I found a Titan on my single-player game, guys. That is definitely a Titan over there in the distance. Off that away. That's a Titan. I'm not going to hit it right now, but I am going to go into its territory here. We'll hang out with it for a minute. Maybe the Rexes. Alright. Ankies. Ankies cannot be knocked with the frying pan. I now officially have the invulnerable on, so it cannot hit me, which is very good. Okay, Megaloceros can be knocked. That's good to know. Can we find a saber? Usually there are some sabers in the snow biome. Let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, I'm only seeing mammoths right now. They might be up around this mountain. So, Ideally, guys, I would be able to go through and test every single type of creature that I could possibly knock out with a frying pan. That's not going to happen because I don't have a way to forcefully gather all of those creatures. Oh, there's some sabers. Okay. This will be good. So I know that the frying pan is going to be useful for knocking most small creatures. I wonder if you can knock an RG. Oh! Okay, so it knocks a saber out. Go away. It does not knock the RG out. Alright, that's good to know. Ooh, so if sabers get knocked out, guys, I wonder if that means we can knock a dire wolf out. That would be really cool. That would be really, really cool. Let's go see if we can find a pack of wolves. I would like to take on a pack of wolves, because ever since they got their pack buff, they have been kind of too strong for what they are. So if I can find some of those, I'd be very happy. I'm going to go ahead and turn on Bright Night here while we run around looking for these. So the frying pan, the list of creatures I have so far is essentially Dodo, Dillo, Phiomia, Packy, Scorpion. Ooh, there's a wolf. Come at me. Oh. Guys, you can knock out a dire wolf. That's broken. I would really, really, really love to go into a cave and use this there, except that my God console would turn off since the cave starts an automatic pursuit. So I will not be doing that. But if you take a frying pan into a cave on single player, I have a feeling that would be a pretty good melee weapon to take with you, especially if you were on the back of like a pretty protected creature. You could just knock out all of the wolves, and then you would only have to worry about the yetis and things like that. Yeah, I think you can get me. You're actually kind of a cool color. I love this frying pan. This is honestly my favorite of the archetypes. I think it's probably going to be... It's just the most fun to play with, in my opinion. I think I want to get one of these and dye it pink, because that would be great. Alright, so that is not what I wanted. The frying pan is, well, it's an iron skillet, excuse me. It is called an iron skillet officially. And so, this one is the most expensive of the new archetypes. It is $9.99 US. That is pretty pricey, but at the same time, it is a permanent engram, and the frying pan is probably the most fun to run around with. I've had so much fun with it, and the opportunities I've had to just knock stuff out. Anything that comes at you, you just kind of hit it with a frying pan, and it leaves you alone. So it's really, really great. Okay, so a full list of creatures that I have discovered so far. The Dodo, the Dillo, the Packy, the Phiomia, the Saber, and the Direwolf, and the Pteranodon. All of those creatures are easily knocked out by the frying pan, and I believe you would also be able to knock out a Compy as well. Those should be small enough, and probably a Mesopithecus, although there's really not much point to that since they are a passive tame anyway. What other small creatures would you be able to knock out? Ugh. Guys, this is so broken. It's so good. Now, the durability on the frying pan is actually surprisingly impressive. Oh yeah, and the Megaloceros are also able to be knocked out, so that's another creature. Let's see, I'm trying to think of any other small creatures I could test this on. Terror birds, I would bet terror birds could be knocked out by it, although if you can't knock out a raptor, I might be wrong about that. Yeah, leave me alone. Alright, I may not go and test the terror bird itself, just because that is kind of a ways. Let's go knock out this whole pack of wolves. I want them all to come at me. Yeah, get out. Done. Oh my gosh, guys. Look at the carnage. Look at all the carnage. This is amazing. You could tame an entire pack of direwolves just like that. Just with a frying pan and nothing else. That is pretty awesome. So, yeah, guys, I think the frying pan may be worth it. It is expensive, I do understand. yeah, but I still think that this item is super OP, and so it should be expensive, because it's kind of game breaking if you can just walk around and just knock out all of the dangerous creatures in the snow biome. Or at least not all of them, but most of the big ones. So these wolves are often the ones that are causing the most trouble in the snow biome. So if you can just knock them out, that's pretty OP, guys. All right. So I think that is going to do it for this episode, guys. Hopefully that was a useful overview of all of the archetypes that are now available and new to the game, because the Eerie Pistol, which is cheaper as an Ingram, is not new to the game. You can get this by completing the Swamp Cave, or you can learn how to make an unlimited number of them with the Ingram. That is why the Ingram is also the cheapest. It's just a basic gun with infinite ammo. So it's a good backup gun to have, but it is not particularly strong or anything like that. Okay, so guys, if you did find yourself enjoying this video at any point, please do remember to hit that like button. It seriously helps me out. And do let me know in the comments below which of the new archetypes is your favorite and which ones would you want to see me use on the channel. Because I would be willing to go ahead and purchase those Ingrams if you guys wanted to see me use them in the solo series game that I am playing. And yes, if you want to see more content like this, you can, of course, subscribe. I will catch you guys in the next one. Signing off, this is the Iguana.